Welcome to Illuminati Silver. We tell you the truth about silver. Today is Saturday the 16th of October 2021 and we're publishing our gold and silver weekly update for the week ending the 15th of October. And it's been quite an interesting week. So let's take a look. Now, firstly, a quick shout out. We produced our regular morning videos each morning during the course of the week, and also one or two other videos, which we have placed links to below. Do have a look in the description column to make a judgment as to whether you wish to listen to any of those. Meanwhile, going back to precious metals, gold rose $11 last week, rising from $1,757 to $1,768, having actually hit a high of 1,800, which was the limit that we put on last week, and it couldn't really quite breach it, though perhaps it did a few cents, and a low of 1,750, which is our major support level, a rise of 0.6%, showing a slightly higher low and a slightly higher high than the previous week, which is good news if you believe in the strength of gold. In sterling terms, gold finished the week at £1,286. That's down £4. And in euros, it closed at €1,524. That's up €5. Silver rose 65 cents, rising from $22.67 to $23.32, having hit a high of $23.61 and a low of $22.36, a rise of 2.9%, and like gold, putting in higher highs and higher lows. In sterling terms, silver closed at £16.98, that's up 32 pence on the week, and in euros it closed at 20.12 euros, that's up just over half a euro. The gold to silver ratio fell from 77.5 to 1 to 75.8 to 1. Bitcoin has risen another $6,851, following the previous week's rise of $6,980, and now stands at $61,573. And that is the price of Bitcoin as at half an hour ago after we've published this video. Looking at equity markets, they've been recovering. You've got the Dow Jones closing on Friday at 35,294, up 382 points on the day and up 548 points on the week. We have the S&P 500 closing at 4,471, up 33 points on the day and up 80 points on the week. We have the Nasdaq Composite closing at 14,897, that's up 73 points on the day and up 318 points on the week. Very positive news because the economic figures generally are slowly improving, and although that brings the prospect of bond tapering closer, the markets are feeling buoyant. And also, of course, you have President Biden's infrastructure plan, which, with one or two alterations, look as if Manchin will give in, providing they remove the green element from the plan, thereby helping his coal industry and his constituency. We may find that that infrastructure bill could pass sooner than many think. And that will certainly, pumping another $1 trillion to $2 trillion back into the economy, will certainly buoy markets further. Looking at oils though, they're all up. Brent crude closed at $84.86, up $2.47. And WTI crude closed at $82.28, up $2.93 on the week. We are again seeing talk of $100 a barrel oil. Why? Because of the gas energy crisis, people are shifting back to oil and coal. The dollar index stands at 93.93. That's down 0.13 on the week and just below that crucial 94 level, which is where it was really up until broadly Thursday. Now, we concluded last week's video with the following forecast. Quote, "We have to consider that inflation is a genuine cause for concern and currently is running much higher than central bank targets in the United States, Europe and the United Kingdom, with gas prices pushing them even higher in the short term. The issue is, of course, whether traders in the next week or two consider this, or perhaps focus more as we approach the FOMC meeting. We therefore expect to see gold trading between $1,725 and $1,800, with $1,675 and $1,825 as outliers. Well, we can see gold did trade well within that bracket. We'll cover that in a second, and we also predicted we can see silver trading between $21.75 and $23.50, with $21 to $24 as outliers. Gold traded within the range, and silver broadly traded within our normal range, but did for a day rise marginally above it, but well within our outlier range. We can see gold fluctuated really between, ironically, the major support and the psychological resistance level, between $1,800 and $1,750, some $50. And silver fluctuated between $23.61 and $22.36, a difference of $1.25, slightly higher than recent disparities. Now, each morning we've produced our daily updates expressing the reasons for the various price movements and news which could affect prices that day and that week. So do tune into these, please. We try to get them out before 11 a.m. GMT +1. We don't always succeed, but usually we do. And we've placed links to these below. Now, this past week's economic data has broadly proven positive, as it did the previous week. Positive for the US economy and arguably the global economy. Initial and continuing jobless claims were lower. The producer price index was lower than the previous week, or previous month, I should say, and lower than expectations. And import prices, though higher in September than August, were also lower than expectations. Significantly, retail sales for September came in at a positive 0.7%. Against expectations of minus 0.2%. Positive for the economy, certainly, but increasing the likelihood of bond buying tapering in November. On the negative side, though, the consumer price index was higher in September than August by 0.1%, though core CPI was lower than expectations. Job openings were also lower, and the consumer, lower than expectations, that is, and the Consumer Sentiment Index announced on Friday was also lower than the previous month and against expectations. Now, a brief observation last week was gold's strength on Wednesday and Thursday, and then virtual collapse on Friday. We saw on Thursday gold futures hit a one-month high, and Treasury yields fell, as did the dollar value. Gold went up to, but found it difficult to break the key $1,800 level. Key psychologically, that is. But as we've now stated for quite a few months, there is significant support at $1,750. And although gold has breached that in recent weeks, it quite rapidly recovered and rose above it. This $1,750 level is further supported at $1,725, and it's at $1,680 we see most substantial support for gold. On the upside, should we see gold breach 1800, then a rise to 1835 is indeed quite feasible. Silver followed gold's path more or less, but did not fall back quite as much on Friday, though it did dip down. Now that is positive. However, will it catch up on Monday? We have to wait and see. Now, we've seen some explanations for this, why it did not fall quite so much, though quite frankly, we don't necessarily agree with it. The explanation was relating to copper prices rising, thereby reducing the disparity in price between copper and silver, both of which are used in electrical conduction. Though, to be candid, the difference in price between the two is still so vast, we cannot really see this argument, as the substitution effect would require copper prices to rally roughly 100-fold before both would be in contention. From a technical point of view, silver has some support at the 50-day moving average at 23.27 and resistance at September highs of 24.82. The MACD histogram is printing in positive territory, but the upward sloping trajectory is decelerating, which points to consolidation. Now, before we give our price forecast, let's take a quick look at the economic data being published in the United States next week. Monday, we have industrial production for September and the NAHB index for October. On Tuesday, building permits and housing starts for September. On Wednesday, we have the Beige Book. Thursday, weekly jobless claims, Philadelphia Fed Manufacturing Index for October, existing home sales for September, and leading economic indicators for September. Then on Friday, flash PMIs for the market manufacturing and market services for October. So really, we have Monday, Thursday and Friday being the more important days to observe. Having said that, we find it difficult to see much here to affect market prices that considerably. So where do we see gold and silver moving next week? Well, save any disasters on the political front or the geopolitical front, we expect to see gold trading between $1,740 and $1,820, with $1,700 and $1,850 as outliers. Silver between $22.50 and $24, with $22 to $24.50 as outliers. What do you think? Do share your thoughts. Meanwhile, thank you so much for listening. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to our channel, not forgetting to press the bell sign so you're notified of our videos as and when they are published. As always, we wish you a safe, enjoyable weekend and prosperous week ahead. Illuminati Silver owners come from a background of banking, international wealth management and economics. Having now retired from these worlds, we are not qualified to give investment advice. Therefore, this and other productions must not be deemed to be giving such advice and merely represent the personal views of its owners.